Good afternoon, everyone. Nandito na naman tayo sa ating Money Tips for Everyone na kung saan ay bibigyan ko kayo ng mga money tips kung paano natin i-handle at kung paano mag-earn ang ating hard-earned money. For today's discussion, this will be the last part of our How to Achieve Financial Freedom series. Pag-uusapan natin ngayon, how to make your money work hard for you. Yan. Kung naalala nyo, so natutunan natin how to create money through our salary and sidelines and how to protect this income. Ngayon, kung meron pa po tayong excess money, okay, after we protect ourselves, so that's the best time to invest this money. So para mag-earn at mag-grow pa ito and mag-work hard for us. Okay? So isa-isahin natin to. So let's start. Okay? Sabi nga ni Aya Laraya, when you invest, you are buying a day that you don't have to work. So, sobrang believer po ako niyan. Okay? So, imagine niyo mag-save kayo ngayon ng isang buwan. So, ibig sabihin niyan, so, binibili niyo yung isang buwan niyo in the future na hindi na po kayo magtatrabaho, di ba? Kaya, sobrang fanatic po ako ng investing. Yan. So, what are the primary reasons why we need to invest? First is to beat inflation. Second, save up for retirement. Third is for freedom and abundance. For sure is, marami po tayong reasons bakit tayo mag-i-invest. Okay? For the sake of our topic for today, so dito po tayo magpo-focus sa tatlong to. Yan. So ano nga ba ang inflation? Okay. So ang inflation is the increase of prices of goods and services over time. At the same time is pagbaba ng value ng pera. Okay? So alam niyo ba na ang average inflation rate dito sa Pilipinas ay 4 to 5% in the last 5 years. Diba? So imagine niyo every year bumababa ng 4 to 5% yung value ng pera nyo. Or nag-increase ng 4 to 5% ang bilihin. So, kung i-convert natin to into figures, so imagine niyo, let's say, okay, so you are saving for your dream house worth 1 million pesos. Then nag-start ka today. Okay? So, after 1 year ka pa nakaipon ng 1 million pesos, so nagsisave ka through bank. Yan. So after 20 years, yung value ng bahay mo is hindi na po siya 1 million actually. Okay? So dahil sa effect ng inflation, ang value na po ng bahay nyo is 2.8 million. Okay? At yung 1 million nyo na hindi nag-earn ng money halos sa bangko, malalaman po natin yan sa succeeding slides, no? So 36% lang siya ng total na value ng bahay ang ma-avail nyo. Okay? So another good example is madalas yung, di ba, nag-groceries tayo, no? So, 10 years ago, saan makakarating yung 3,000 pesos mo? So, 10 years ago, kaya niyo bumili ng 1 cart of groceries, but today, so, kumpag na lang ng groceries nga yung bilhin. Okay? So, sad reality, but true. Yan. So, yun po yung effect ng inflation. Okay? If you're going to illustrate it by a graph, itong blue line is our cost of living. Okay? So, naka-factor in na po dyan yung inflation. Then, itong red line is, siya po yung income po natin, growing lower than inflation. So, ito pong gap na makikita nyo is, siya po yung nagpo-cause ng poverty. So, yan po. Then, yung green line naman po is, sample po ng income growing higher than inflation. So, yung gap po na yan, siya po yung nag-create ng wealth. Yan. Okay? So, next reason bakit tayo kailangan mag-invest is to save up for retirement. So, imagine niyo, isipin nyo lang ngayon, no? So, pag nag-stop yung income nyo ngayon, sinong mag-provide ng basic needs nyo? Sinong gagastos ng monthly expenses nyo? Food and shelter, transportation, hobbies, entertainment, and medical expenses. Diba? So, nakakalungkot lang, typical scenarios po talaga ngayon is yung anak ko yung ginagawang retirement fund. Okay? So, for sure, ayaw po natin mangyari yun sa ating mga anak at sa ating future generations, di ba? So, that's why we need to invest as early as now. Okay. So, magkano nga ba ang kailangan natin prepare for our retirement? Okay. So, bigyan ko yun very simple computation. No? For example, if you are spending 10,000 pesos per month today for you to have a comfortable life, okay? And you'll be retiring 20 years from now. Okay? So, hanapin niyo po dito sa first column, kung yung years before po kayo magre-retire, so ito 20, then yung katapat po yung sa kabila is yung factor, so 2.8. Okay, so gagawin nyo na po, in 10,000 monthly expenses times 2.8 equals 28,000 po. Ang kakailanganin nyo po, 20 years from now, kung gusto nyo po magkaroon ng comfortable retirement life. Okay po? Yan. So ngayon, is nasa sa atin po yan, di ba? So, walang basagan ng trip, kanya-kanya po yan. Okay? Ano po bang gusto nyo maging storyline po ng retirement nyo? Longest holiday po ba? Hindi pong mag-i-enjoy po kayo ng sobra-sobra, or it will be your greatest nightmare. Yan. Tipong hindi ka prepared, nakasaka sa anak mo, nandiyan pa yung mga sakit, nakarate ka na lang maghapon ng ilang taon, imagine mo, no? So, parang nag-aantay ka na lang, kunin ka na lang ni Lord. Which is ayaw po natin yan. Okay? So, mag-save up at invest na po tayo as early as now. Now na po. Raymond, saan ba ako dapat mag-invest? So, ito po yan. So, meron pong investment vehicle available for us. Kung hindi niyo po alam, introduce ko po yung mga common na investing vehicle. So, meron po tayong tinatawag na paper asset, real asset, and business. So, for the paper asset, let's start with mutual funds. Okay? So, in our past video, nagkaroon po idea about sa stock market, tama? Na kayo po yung directly bumibili at bumibenta po ng shares of stocks ng mga company po na listed sa PSEI. Okay? So, anong kinaibahan ni mutual fund? Si mutual fund, let's say, meron ka lang 1,000 pesos na ang pera mo. Diba? Kung bibili ka sa stock market directly is, diba, most likely, wala ka halos mabibiling shares of stock ng company. Okay? Pero through mutual funds, 10 tao kayo na tigwa 1,000 pesos, pagsama-samahin yung sa full of funds, okay, via a fund manager, tapos i-invest po yan. Okay? Through pwedeng bond funds, yan. Nahati po yan into corporate bonds and government funds. Ayun po yung, for example, may put up na project si government. Kailangan nyo ng funds, kailangan nyo maka-gather ng funds para maisagawa yung projects niya. So, manghihiram po siya sa mga investors gaya pa natin. Okay? So, kaya mag-i-issue sila ng bonds. So, ayun po yung concept ng bonds. Then, pwede rin pong invest into equity fund. Ito po 100%. Ilalagay po yung pera po natin sa stock market. Then, pwede rin po through balance fund. Okay? So, percentage of bonds and stocks. Ayan po. So, ang advantage po ng investing sa mutual fund is hassle-free or less hassle po siya. Kasi we don't have to know all the details by ourselves. Kasi meron ng fund manager na will do it for us. Okay? Ito, disadvantage nga lang is walang learnings kasi the fund manager will do it all for us. Okay? Ang advantage lang talaga nito is sa mga tao, gaya natin na merong 8 hours job or busy sa kanya-kanyang business. Di ba? So, mutual fund is very perfect for those kind of people. Another disadvantages of mutual fund is higher cost. Kasi nga, kailangan mo pa sukudan yung fund managers. Yan, may management fees and commissions. Approximately 5%. Okay. Next, stock market again. So, meron tayong 2 ways to make money in the stock market. First is through dividend, profit sharing. Pag kumita yung company, nagbibigay sila ng bonus through dividend. Then another thing is capital gains. No, saan? Diba? So, may chance na mag-grow yung money natin as the company grows and expands. So, ito yung concept ng dividend capital gains. To put it into figures, para mas maintindihan natin, hilig tayo sa computation, alam ko po yan. Again, favorite example ko, bumili tayo ng PLDT year 1985 at 6.5 pesos per share. Meron tayong 10,000 shares. Initial capital natin is 65,000 pesos. Then, as of ito August 2020, stock price ni is 1,400 pesos. 10,000 shares na meron tayo. Let's say, never na po nadagdagan yung shares natin. Okay, so automatically, whopping 14 million na po yung value po yung pera po natin. Diba? So, sobrang laki po. Grabe. So, that's a whopping 215 times increase in 35 years. Feeling ako mag-antay ng 35 years. Diba? Ako magiging milyonaryo ka naman, diba? Yan. So, yan po yung tinatawag natin, capital acquisition. So, for dividend, hindi pa tapos yung taon, nagbigay si PLDT ng 77 pesos per share na meron ka sa kanya. So, meron tayong 10,000 shares, kung naalala nyo. Diba? 77, that's 770,000 pesos per year. Diba? Ako, okay na ako dyan. Very comfortable life na ako dyan, diba? That's passive income. Okay? Imagine mo to, no? Lalo na itong dividend na to, no? You're na, pwede ka na hindi magtrabaho niyan, actually. Kung okay ka na sa 770,000 pesos per year, diba? Much higher sa total annual income ng majority ng empleyado po dito sa Pilipinas po yan. Okay? So, general lang naman yung strategy sa stock market, buy at low, sell at highs. But kung gusto natin mas mataas po yung efficiency ng success rate po natin para kumita dito is marami pong strategies available, okay, na i-discuss po natin in other vlogs po natin. Yan. So, to compare, sino pong nanalo between regular savings versus bank versus mutual fund versus stock market savings. So, ito po yan. Imagine niyo nagsisave po tayo ng 5,000 pesos per month. Ilalagay na po natin sa ating alkansya, di ba? In 30 years, magiging 1.8 million na po yan. Pag nilagay po natin sa bangko, earning 0.125% interest, halos kikita lang po yan 34,000. Okay? So, halos wala nagbago. Yan. Pag nilagay na naman po natin siya sa mutual fund, earning approximately 8%, okay? Annual growth, annual interest. So, magiging 7.4 million po yung total po ng pera po natin. Yan, di ba? Ang laki po. And pag nilagay naman po natin siya sa stock market for 30 years, earning 12% interest annually. So, tumataginting na, magkakaroon tayo 17.4 million pesos. Di ba? So, very obvious sinong nanalo. Okay. But, disclaimer guys. Okay? The higher the return, the higher the risk. Okay? Mataas ang risk ng mutual fund, lalo na ng stock market. So, pwede kayo mag-earn ng 12%, pwede din kayo mag-lose ng 12%. Okay? Kaya ang advice ko po sa inyo is be financially literate. Okay? Educate yourself first. Bago kayo may pasukin na investment is aralin niyo kung maigi to. Kasi at the end of the day, at the end of the day is, it will be your hard-earned money. Yung i-invest niyo po. Yan. Next is real estate investing. So, meron pong ways to grow our money in real estate. First, buy and sell. Bibili tayo ng mga foreclosed property. Di ba? Ng mga narimatan ng bangko. Re-renovate natin to, pagagandahin natin at sisell natin sa mas mataas na price or sa current market value niya. Through that is gagain po tayo. Second is through appreciation. Di ba? Bibili mo siya ng mas mura, yung lupa, yung bahay. Then, hindi mo siya gagalawin, i-hold mo lang siya for 10 years, more than 10 years, 15 years, saan mo siya ibebenta, di ba? So that's appreciation. Di ba? Ang pinakamahal nga na village dito sa Pilipinas, ito na-research ko lang, no, is Forbes Park. Lots. Ngayon po, yung price po niya is naglalaro between 224,000 pesos per square meter. Guys, imagine niyo, up to 400,000 per square meter. Di ba? So way back before, panahon ng lolo't lola natin, for sure, napakaliit ng value niya per square meter dati. Okay. Then, my favorite is through rentals, di ba? So, you can earn regular cash flow from your rental property. Yan po yung pinaka-favorite po natin kasi ang goal po natin is passive income. Okay? Then, let's talk about business. Simplify lang po natin siya, di ba? So, part siya ng cash flow quadrant na nasa right side, okay? So, which is bumubuo ng 5% ng population ang naghahati sa 95% ng wealth ng buong mundo. Yan, kung naalala niyo po yan, very good po kayo. Okay, imagine niyo as an employee, di ba? So, meron tayong 8 hours a day equals to 8 man-hour. So, 100% ng effort is sa atin. Every day po yan, as long as empleyado po tayo. Tama? Pero kung business owner po tayo, yan, meron tayong 100 katao na nagtatrabaho under us. Okay? May tig o 8 oras kada araw. Imagine sa isang araw, yung business owner na yan, meron siyang 800 man-hour. So, meron po siyang tinatawag na leverage. Okay? Then, meron siyang system at yung tao is nagtatrabaho para po sa kanya. Kahit wala na po yung presensya na po niya doon, is kikita po siya kahit nagbabakasyon na po siya. Okay? So, yun po yung kagandahan ng pagiging business owner. Kahit, di ba? I rather earn 1% of 100 effort rather than, di ba, giving my 100% of my own effort. So, yun po yung advantage ng business. Okay. Again, going back sa ating chart towards to financial freedom. So, nag-start po tayo sa ating salary as an active income. Diba? Together with our sideline or other source of income para mas mapataas po yung savings po natin. The moment na mataas po yung savings po natin is kaya po natin mas mapangalagahan po yung katawan po natin para maging healthy. Mas makakapag-establish po na tayo ng desired emergency fund 3 to 6 times ang mga expenses kung naalala niyo po. And mapoprotektahan po yun natin yung sarili pa natin via insurance. Okay? Once established na po yan, saka po tayo mag-i-invest. Yan, di ba? Para meron tayong peace of mind while doing investing through paper assets, via real estate, or via business that we love. Okay? Kada kikitayan po ng mga investments po natin, i-highly recommend po is i-reinvest niyo po ulit siya. As long as yung passive income is less than expenses. Okay? Pag dumating po sa point, yung kinikita po natin ng investment po natin, siya na rin po nag-cater ng health po natin, ng emergency fund, pambayad po doon at sa insurance, pwede po tayong mag-stop, magtrabaho, or doon sa mga side hustle po natin. Okay? Siyempre at some point, mapapagod po tayo naman, di ba? Yan. At pag dumating po sa point na yung passive income po natin is greater than expenses, guys, congratulations! Officially, financially free na po tayo. Yan. Di ba ang sarap? Diba? We can live our life based on our own terms. Yan. Tandaan po natin, mga kahuwan, okay? Ito na po talaga yung susi. Keep educating yourself. Be financially literate. Again, this is Raymond Cruz of Money Tips from Everyone. Kita-kits for our next vlog.